Yo, 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 thank you for tuning in. This is yours truly, Mr. Madison, coming to you on Unpolitically Direct. Yo, 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 this is yours truly, Mr. Madison, coming to you on Unpolitically Direct. So today we got a very special guest. We got my brother, a friend, a very good pillar in this community, DJ, a.k.a. Demetrius Jackson. How you doing, boy?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm blessed.
Okay. How you doing, man?
You good?
Same, bro. Same. Blessed, man. Been going through life. Life been life.
And I say it's the journey, not the destination.
100%. But I'm glad I got to get you here, man. This has been a time overdue. You know, we've had multiple talks off camera, and I just feel like the content or just the conversation that we have, I just feel like it's so impactful to not just us. Like I get so much I learned so much from you. And I just feel like it was just needed for this interaction and try to give back in a sense to those around us.
No, I agree. I feel like when we be having our talks, somebody out there could benefit from hearing the conversation between us, because there's a lot of people just like us out there that are lifing right now. So
that boy, she got hands, he got hands, however you want to identify it.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to get a quick minute. So give me a little rundown, man. I don't think we've ever got to like have a conversation about like the true Demetrius Jackson, DJ, right? Give me a little insight on the origin. What's your origin story, my boy?
Origin story?
Yeah, let me, because I feel like a lot of the viewers and people that know you from your amazing career at Notre Dame, your ability to beat the odds, I would say. Right. Most people would say for us, because that's one of the milestones they give us. But you know, in our community, that is, you beat the odds, man. And coming from this environment and actually performing at a high level, like I just feel like, bro, that is something great to witness, and it's been a pleasure to be able to call you a friend.
I appreciate
that, man. I'm just curious, man. Like, give us before all the glory, like, what was that step, man? Like, I know it had to be difficult, so let's hear it.
Yeah, to be honest, you know, I've had people call me like an old soul. And I feel like I've lived like 2-3 different lifetimes in one life.
Okay.
You know, I grew up on the west side of South Bend. You know, we were homeless. We struggled a little bit. We low income family. Very, very, very low income family. You know, without getting overly personal. You know, just very low income. You know, we had the kerosene heater. We all had to sleep around. You know, we had the nights where we didn't have no water on. You know, you couldn't shower, this and that. I had to boil the water. We had the nights where we didn't have no lights, like the candles. So, you know, for me, that was like one whole lifetime. You know, and a lot of my story is documented. I went into foster care when I was 12 years old.
Okay.
So, you know, from the time I can remember until 12, that was like one life right there for me, right? Like I feel like I experienced so many different scenarios. I had to grow up early. I had to learn how to, you know, be a young man at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. So then, you know, the next segment of my story, foster care. You know, I was in foster care before I found my stable home with the Whitfields. I was in foster care for 2 years.
Okay.
And those were like the longest 2 years. Like when I look back at that time, it's like, it feels like a whole different life. Because it was like, them 2 years was the longest.
That's trauma, my
2 years.
Wow.
Those are the longest 2 years I ever experienced in my life. Time felt like it was just, I felt like I was in a different timeline.
Yeah.
Like Marvel. Different timeline. Like a Marvel multiverse. So, you know, boom. And then the next segment of my life, when I moved with the Whitfields, you know, I found a stable home. That was like the next segment of my life. Into, you know, my career at Marion, into my career at Notre Dame, into my career beyond that. Okay. And then, you know, you had the step away. I had the time where I was like, you know what, I got to give this time back to myself. I stepped away from the game of basketball, and then that transitioned into me finding that love for the game of basketball again in a different way.
Yeah.
Now, as a coach, as a leader, as somebody that is trying to help that next generation accomplish their goals, teach them, and help mentor them along the way. So, I'll be feeling like I'm 40, 50 years old, you know what I'm saying? But I'm only...
My mama, you hooked up the old man too. That was where you out there. Hey, you.
Yep.
I'm like, okay.
Yep. So now I feel like that. And, when I take a big step away from it, like the wisdom that it's taught me, I'm starting to get some grays in my beard, and I'm like,
I got 8 of them. I've been counting.
them grays of wisdom, I guess. So, that's the abbreviated story. That's the abbreviated story. But like we said at the beginning, it's a journey, not the destination. And like everything that I practice, everything that I teach, everything that I work on, still to today, a lot of it came from that journey. And so, real quick, I did see that potential. And, I saw that potential not as a person who could go to the NBA or do great things, but as a person who could be satisfied or fulfilled.
Yeah.
A person that could like find his way and help other people and help yourself and do great. I felt that. I did feel that potential to like have passion, have a desire, have a goal, have somewhere that you wanted to go, to have, just a drive to do something great. So
they always say, as men, we have to find purpose. And I think from hearing what you're saying, I hear when you come from nothing, because I felt it, bro. When you got to talking, I was like, we brothers.
Yeah.
I was like, you was in the house with us when we was sleeping violence on clothes. So no, bro, like it's crazy because this is the first time I'm actually getting to hear it, like a little bit, peep into it. But I feel like we have so much in common, so much more in common on a deeper level, on a deeper level of like our upbringing and just what it was like to, grow up in a challenging, environment. I don't think our parents wanted it, but at the end of the day, we all get dealt the hand, and how we, choose to play that hand, I feel like it's up to us, and we can make the best out of it if we can.
No,
so
that's facts. That's 100 right there.
But to speak back on that, man, I know you talked about going through foster care. And I know you talked about, feeling like you've lived multiple lives. And I definitely have times where when I'm recollecting my past, it felt longer than it might have been, or it felt shorter than it might have been. So I'm just trying to I'm really trying to rack my brain. How do you go from, that young kid that had to mature, that, you had to really face these trials and tribulations and hardships, and then how did you overcome that and pursue? Because I feel like personally, one, you went to a prestigious university in South Bend, Indiana, Notre Dame. Everybody knows about Notre Dame. You went there, and you didn't just go there. You thrived there in a sense, right? And I know most people like to see the stats. They want to see the athlete, but you approaching that hurdle, like what did that feel like? What did that look like? Were you just motivated so you didn't see it, but you still had to go to class because you did 3 years, right? You still had to go to class, and you still was in this town. So what did that look like? Because I know when I was at IU, like I was detached from my family, I was detached from my environment. It was a good and a bad thing. And one of the things where I didn't have vices, but I didn't have stability or any pillars. So, like, coming from hardship, going into a prestigious university, not only that, being the big dog in a sense, you know what I mean? And having to hold yourself to a standard and rise to other standards. How did DJ obtain all of that greatness? Because, bro, I'm be the one to give you a flowers, but that's great. And
Thank you.
And we could talk about the antics of the career dealing with college basketball and NBA at another time, but I'm just really trying to get to your mindset in a sense.
To be honest, everything that I learned in these different lives, things that I learned on that journey, it helped me. So oftentimes I recall strength, or I recall things that I experienced, and I would use those things not as motivation, but as like who I am, my character, right? Like, I would use these things to my benefit.
Okay.
You know, one thing I think about is like, we're not only like our generational curses and our trauma, you know, we're also like our ancestors I think about my grandma, I think about my mom too. I wasn't just the low income.
Yeah.
I was also the strong black woman who raised me.
Yeah.
That instilled like these principles in me. It's the principle of it. You know what I'm saying? So I just recalled that strength that was, you know, bestowed upon me by my family, my siblings, my ancestors, people I never even met. So, you know, that helped me along my journey. That definitely helped me along my journey. I think like the biggest thing is I fell in love with basketball. It was my outlet. So whenever I was sad, no matter my emotions, sad, mad, happy, whatever it was, basketball was always the thing I turned to. So I found something I loved and I did it often. Like you didn't have to tell me to like go to the gym. You didn't have to tell me to like go work on your ball, and you didn't have to tell me to go to practice. It was just what I love to do. So it's like, you know, I was a gym rat before I knew what a gym rat was. I always wanted to, you know, I'm like the little kid who always want that, but what I wanted was basketball. I want to go to practice. I want to go practice. Can you take me to the court? Can you take me to the gym? You know, you can't take me. I'm gonna walk. It's like I would spend, and you know, we also too, when we were younger, you know, in the early 2000s, whatever, it was different.
Yeah.
My mom had a rule, you know, you go outside, you stay outside. You come in the house, you stay in the house. You come in the house, you stay in the house.
Yeah,
so
you be in the house for a moment, and then you get outside because you need to go get some sun.
Yeah. So for me, you know, I would leave the house at like 9. I wouldn't come back to the streetlights.
Yeah.
And the whole time we just park, playground, court. You know, we try to sneak home, get the water, try to get some water out the water hose. So for me, it was just like, shoot. I mean, that's how I grew up.
Yeah.
Outside all day. But yeah, I think what's really important is like for me, when I was in high school, when I was in college, I didn't even think about NBA.
Yeah.
I didn't think about the NBA. I didn't think about like trying to make an M.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about the end goal. But I will say, you know, once you get older, you learn to work hard, but you also learn to work smarter.
Yeah.
But in my youth, I just like fell in love with the process.
Yeah.
Dang, my left hand feel a little weak. Left hand layup feel a little weak. Let me do 100 left hand layup. You know what I mean? It's like my right hand feel a little weak. It's like my jumper feel a little off. Let me put up 500 shots every game. So, but I was also, you know, wise enough as a kid to understand that like, just because I go lift this weight today don't mean I'm gonna have muscles tomorrow. Right. Just because I do 500 jump shots don't mean my jump shot gonna feel perfect tomorrow. Yeah. Anytime my jump shot will like feel off 500. You know what I mean? So I just fell in love with the process.
But where did that come from, right? Not to interrupt, bro, because what I'm hearing is like you like, oh, I felt it. So like, did you have like an idol that you heard a story? Like, how did you find basketball though? You know what I mean? Like, you could have played, bro. Look, hey, everybody, look. My little brother could be a testament to this. The first time I seen this man play basketball, and I was like sold, was he played Washington. What year was that? 2000?
I was I think that might have the dunk. The dunk, that might have been my junior year. That was my junior year.
His junior year of high school, I seen this man elevate literally the name of his business above everybody. And he brought everybody out their seats. But like what I'm saying is the stature that you carry yourself with, your athletic ability, you could play any sport. Baseball, football, soccer. Like I felt like you probably would have shined on everything. But how do you? Is it just the Indiana thing where everybody's like, we hoop? Because to be honest, every summer, everybody at the park.
Yeah. No, so I don't tell people too much about this, but my dad, Demetrius Jackson, I'm also named after him. He was a All-American football player and All-American wrestler. So people knowing that, you know, my dad went to Washington High School here. So he puts pictures up in the school and everything.
Matter of fact, he in the hallway, Lord.
Yeah, you see him in the hallway. You see him in the hallway. So, you know, people wanted me to play football. Oh, you're going to be big like your dad, you got to play football. You know what I'm saying? Or they wanted me, my dad, he wrestled. They were like, oh, you got to do wrestling. So for me, like basketball is what felt the most fluid. It's what felt like basketball felt like my canvas. You know, I used to play football. I used to be mad. I'm in the locker room, hit my head against the wall. You know, I'm mad at football. I was too mad, too angry.
Bro, I can't see. I'm sorry, I can't see you mad because you're such a mellow person.
No, it's funny, and I probably get mad every once in a while, but it's funny because I get a lot of people that say I can never see you get mad, but it's a big part of myself that I got to work on, and I think I would say I purposely try to actively work on that. I purposely try to put myself in places that I don't need what I got to get mad for.
Yeah.
You know, I'm around people that I love. I'm around people that I care about.
100%.
But yeah, just going back to the sports topic, you know, basketball felt like that canvas. And, you know, a lot of the people, like I was always taught never to idolize, but a lot of the people that I drew inspiration from, like they talked about being in the gym.
Yeah.
But I had inspirations, like some of my biggest inspirations. We got Kobe Bryant, LeBron, but those are basketball players. But some of my other biggest inspirations are, you know, Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali. You know, then we got the anime. We can go into the anime.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I got inspirations from cartoons and anime, but you know, it wasn't just basketball for me. Like mentally, like, you know, Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bruce Lee said, be like water.
100%. Be like water.
Kobe Bryant said, you know what I'm saying? LeBron said, strive for greatness. Kobe Bryant said, if you're excellent every day, excellent is just who you are. So, long story short, you know, I've had these inspirations that I just drew inspiration from. I learned, but I don't think I ever really done this, but I gotta give like a big shout out to my brothers, my older brothers, Josh and Jeff. Like, my love for the game and my discipline for the game came from them. Like my brother used to tell me, don't do all that dribbling. I can't even do this, but don't do all that dribbling. Make one move and go.
On my life.
So when people be like, bro, you don't really be, I'm like, yeah, they said you so athletic, you can make one move and go. That's what he told me. So I was like, all right, you said one crossover and go. That's what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One crossover and go. I ain't finna play around with it, do all that. And so, yeah, my oldest brother, Jeff, he has a military background.
Okay.
So
that discipline is instilled.
He called me, yo, you do your 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 calf raises, 100 pull-ups. I'm like, he's like, you do your, I'm like, yeah, he just like, all right, one. So for me, accountability, he'd be like, you gotta run 3 miles, get tired, then do another 3. Like you know what I mean? He
just call you out the blue. Like, what's up,
he'll
bro?
call me, where you at? All right. Like, it's like talking to Shaq. You know how Shaq talking?
My mom.
Yo. He hear the basketballs bouncing and be like, all right, that's all I wanted to hear. All right. Like, so for me, you know, my older brothers, like, I never believed in idolizing people, but if I did idolize anybody, those were my they were like Superman to me. Superman, Black Superman. I'm looking at them like, dang. And they, you know, they were like my dads. They said my dad was in my life. My brothers set the best example that they could. I used to always want to be like them. You know, they walk around buff, strong. I'm like, dang, I gotta get in the gym. I'm skinny. I'm trying to get in the gym. I try to wrestle them, challenge them. We used to play, you know, one of my gifts that helped me take my career a little bit further was my ability on defense. And like to my older brothers, Jeff and Josh, if y'all see this, I love y'all. And one of the reasons I was so good as a defender is because when I was a little kid, we didn't have a hoop, we used to play on the sidewalk. You got to get from this part of the sidewalk to that part. You know, it's narrow.
Yeah.
And they would be all-time offense.
Yeah.
I would be all-time defense. So they had all the wiggle, boom, boom, boom. They crossing me, getting through this small space. But I had all the defense, the ability to try to get, you know, and my older brother, 8, 9 years older than me. So, you know, they older, you know, young grown-ups. And I'm like a little kid playing defense on them. So my defense ability, you know, I probably owe y'all some money because they, you know what I mean? They helped me, they helped me take my career a little bit further.
I got to pay that investment for it. You know what I'm saying?
That definitely helped me. And
that's equity.
Yeah. That's how I was able to change the game for my teams.
Yeah.
Like as much as I wanted to be Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, step back, like that stuff was good. You got to be able to do that stuff. But the way I left my mark on the game was picking up full court, getting a steal, dunking, and turning up intensity. And for all the young players that see this, like, I know a lot of us put our value on, like, dang, did I score 20 points? But I've had 0 points and, like, help my team win the game.
Yeah.
I had 10 rebounds. You can't just have 0, 0, 0.
Oh.
And just be clapping. You gotta do something.
You gotta do something.
And for me, like, I get 10 boards as the shortest player on the court.
Yeah.
I'm locked in. If I get 10 steals as the shortest player on the court, I'm locked in. So
yeah.
Yep.
No, man, it's really powerful being able to, like, hear your story.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you felt like this. I'm just gonna, like, have a moment of clarity. I've always had this journey where I felt alone. I've had support.
Yeah.
But internally, that battle was a lonely one for myself.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's a lot of people as well that left a mark on me that helped me pursue a lot of things in my life. So, with that being said, and I see now where your mindset has been able to be, like, constructed the way it is. When you ran into your hardships of, like, the career, school, right? That's something people can't see. Yeah. People don't see the times where you were probably in the gym, I'm exhausted, classwork, you might not, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Lunch, you like, I ain't feeling it. So like what steps did you implement in your life to be like, you know what, as long as I follow these, or this is what I need to follow, or you fell a couple times, you bumped your head, I don't know. People don't know these things, right? Yeah. So let's get it, like, give me a little insight, a brief insight on like, that part. Like, we see, like I said, we see the glory, but, like, what was them dark times for DJ, like, in each phase, right?
Yep.
High school, college, and a little bit in the league. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think like there's a lot of lessons to be learned in failure.
Yeah.
It's okay to fall down, but you can't stay down. You can't stay down. So 100%. For me, like, part of the reason I think I was able to accomplish some of the things is because I failed so much. And even now, today, I address failures in a different way, right? Like, failures, I don't really look at them like failures, but I like to mess up.
Yeah.
I like to feel, like, a little bit uncomfortable, like, dang, this feel, and, like, that invites me to explore. Like, when I see people, the one thing that I do now in my adulthood is any form of self-doubt, I try to eliminate it. I never tell myself I can't. I never tell myself it's impossible. I never tell myself, I always say things like it's a matter of time. Or that was tough, but let me try it. Like, when I work with Bobo and we do certain, he doing footwork and his body's constructed a little bit different than mine, a little bit taller, and I'm looking, and initially your mind want to be like, you can't do all that. Can't do all that, but I almost invite myself, like, just try it, shoot, trip over your feet one time, fall.
Shout out to Bob.
Shout out to Bob, man. But it's just like for me, I take it like an invitation to explore what it feels like for me, then perfect it, then keep crafting it, then add on to it. So, I feel like failure is an invitation to explore. And that's the way I address it.
What was failure like? What did failure look like in high school? What was some of your moments that you would consider was one of those things where you like that? No, I wouldn't even call it failure. What were one of those testing hurdles that helped catapult you into that next phase?
So, I mean, my freshman year, I think we won like 8 games. Briefly, we won like 8 games, and I used to cry after every loss. We lost probably 14. I can't remember how many games, but that was a lot of times in the locker room crying. And so that was a big hurdle. Got to get better. Yeah. Got to be able to dominate the game. Got to be able to. So like for me, I was like, I ain't gonna get mad. I'm gonna get better.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna get mad. I'm gonna just get better. I'm gonna grow my game. I'm gonna get stronger. I'm gonna get more physical. I'm gonna be able to, like, all right, they don't want to handle the full Washington Adams full court pressing us. Everybody's scared. All right, I got it. Like, I'm gonna be able to handle. I'm gonna be able to, like, handle this. Physicality, this intimidation that some of the schools. I went to a Catholic school that, some of the players may have had. So, just putting myself in the fire, putting myself in the situations, training every day, I started seeing changes in my body. I mean, the biggest hurdle after I'd already gotten confident in my game was consistency. Being able to do what I do consistently, night in and night out, being able to have a moment. And what I mean, like, even being able to have a moment where, okay, you didn't have the best game. How do you bounce back from an off night? How do you bounce back from any sort of adversity like that? But to be honest, one of the biggest things I struggled with in my senior year was like, I was like checked out. I was ready to go to Notre Dame. I had lost my patience and I was, I don't want to say completely checked out, but when I look back at that version of myself, I was already looking too far forward instead of like having my feet already being where they are.
I think that's a bad habit for many of us.
Yeah. So
you see it too far in the future.
Seeing too far
today.
Yeah. I'm at practice and I'm like, man,
I'm out. I already got my offer. You know what I'm saying? You already thinking of your college career.
Yeah. You start thinking, especially like in our area of basketball, right? It's so much different than college. There's a big adjustment from it's a big adjustment from South Bend basketball to college. There's a huge adjustment. The skill level is different. The action, even just action. Ball screens, picking pops, icing ball screens, keeping, like
so the knowledge of the game.
The knowledge
is so much.
It's so much different. And I see that today, the struggles, right? The struggles for people in the game. It's like, it's so much different. Even down to the referees, they call the game so much different. I was almost, I don't want to say I got bored, but I was like tired of having like those barriers on me. I'm like, bro, it's not, they calling me for travels and certain things in the game. I'm looking at the ref like,
come on, bro.
All right, bro, I'm off it. You know what I mean? Like, so it got to a point where I didn't handle that adversity well. It was like, I was letting, I guess the environment affect me in a way that I'm just like, all right, man, I'm ready for my next joy.
Okay. So now that's high school.
Right.
What did college look like?
Yeah, college, my freshman year, I came in McDonald's All-American. I had struggles, both academically, both, socially with my peers.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a big one. And then, but I really feel like it stemmed from not being comfortable or not being able to get comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. You go to a team, you have expectations. They expect you to do certain things. A big adjustment from high school to college. You're no longer like, you're an undersized guard.
You're back to the rookie, man.
You gotta reinvent the wheel a little bit. And then, that was a struggle, and then also like my teammates, like having relationships with them. Those guys were a lot different than the team that I succeeded with my freshman year. The upperclassmen were a lot different.
Okay.
So, that was a big struggle for me. In my freshman year, I allowed the things to compile, right? Like you have a bad game, now everything it's like a snowball effect.
Mm-hmm.
You get hurt, you got to sit out a game, everything, like now your grade's bad. We see that a lot, right? Where people can't learn to separate it. I can have a bad game and still be an A+ student.
100%.
I can be an A+ student and like maybe I struggle in the game, right? Like people can't really separate it. So just learning to separate those things, but also learning to be more involved with my team and to utilize the gifts that I have on the court, but even off the court, like being personable, being able to talk to people, being able to relate to people. And as you know, one of the biggest things in college is going, like a lot of camaraderie for teams come from like partying together.
All my life.
Like that's just real. Like a lot of camaraderie comes from like partying. And to be honest, like one of my biggest hurdles was the fact that I didn't party. Isn't that crazy? Like one of my biggest hurdles, I felt like one of my biggest hurdles was the fact that I didn't go out with my teammates. And guys, indulge with the fellas. So, they was like,
it was a little disconnect.
It was disconnect, right? Like they wanted to go out. I'm like, I'm off them. They want to go out. So for me, my next year, to be honest, I worked my butt off that whole summer. Like I worked so hard that summer. Our team worked so hard that summer and we was together. But even beyond that, like everything we did together.
Mm-hmm.
So I no longer viewed it as going out. I viewed it as like I'm with my teammates. So wherever they go, that's where I'm gonna go with y'all. I'm like, I took a little bit of ownership. It was like, I mean, if y'all want to go to Club Feed, you know, y'all want to go to, like, all right, if my dog's right there, like, I'll be there for at least, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, I learned to compromise, but have boundaries as well. Like, okay, you don't want to drink, you're not that type of guy, cool, but I can still, like, relate to my teammates. And I learned to, like, step out of, everybody's got to be, you can't drink, can't drink, can't drink. Everybody's got to be disciplined. I learned to just accept people as they are and then love them as they are and want to understand them. So I like, you know, I had teammates that was white, I had teammates that was black. I can't, what you want on the aux today? You know, we ain't got to just play my music every single day. What you want on the aux? What type of music you listen to? What you listening to? I can't do that metal, but we could do it for a little bit. Yeah. So it's like, you know, and I learned that from, that train of thought came from, the Spurs. I learned that from the Spurs where they talked about, I think Greg Popovich, I can't remember, it was a long time ago. Greg Popovich talked about how guys, you know, they had the guys going to the country concert. So imagine you got a player on your team, he love country, shoot, I may not like country, but we're doing this because the whole team doing it. I'm there, I'm with you. You going to country, all right, cool. You lead the way, I don't know what we doing. Just lead the way though. Get some boots, my boy. Yeah, so it's like, there's something special about, you know, seeing the differences you have with people and being like, yo, that's dope. I want to learn more about you. So I hear like that hurdle that you had actually became a strength of yours. Yeah. Because it just sounded like your ability to relate, you know, just it pretty much kicked it in an overdrive the next year. You know, you accept. Yeah. Okay. It was just like, and it even came down to a point where my teammates, I had teammates after that was like, similar to me, they wasn't going out. And I'd be like, yo, bro, just come, the whole team going. And then we even started taking it a step further where we could orchestrate things that everybody felt comfortable at, right? Like it ain't just going to the bars and this and that. Maybe it's like we have something at the cribs, like at one of the upperclassmen cribs, and we all just do our own thing in this safe space, you know, where we can be, you know, good. But no, it's like one of my best gifts now is being able to just understand people, relate to them, see who they are, see their potential. And just like, I mean, yesterday we had an elevate session. I'm playing James Brown. Sometimes I'll play country. So I always ask the players, like, what y'all want to listen to? What y'all like? And one of my biggest strengths now is, you know, like I want the players to take ownership in their journey. What you want to work on today? I have my plan. Where's your head at? Where your mind's at? What you feeling? A lot of that came from being a point guard. Like, as you know, point guard, quarterback, whatever it is, a leader, it ain't just about what you want. 100%. I have to keep a gauge on how my shooter feeling. Cause I need him. How my big man feeling. I need him to, you know what I'm saying? That's my muscle. I need my muscle. I need my big. I can't in your right mindset. I can't keep coming off these ball screens shooting jumpers. Like I gotta throw the lob. Big fella, help me. So for me, it's like, I really learned to like keep a gauge on the needs of the people around me while still realizing like if I'm gonna run the ship or if I'm gonna be the point guard or own a business or be the like I have to take their experience into consideration in order to make a better one for them. You know what I'm saying? So let's briefly talk because, you know, we're going to wrap this up. And we're going to come back with some more heat, but let's briefly talk about, so I heard the college situation. What was the NBA? Like what, like I was so like when Bob told me, cause shout out to Bob for linking us, you know what I'm saying? We was able to connect through that, but like, just seeing you thrive, you know, I already previously knew of you, but to see you go through those trials and tribulations as well, and you know, learning that business, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. Like, give us a hurdle in that type of situation. I know you went overseas and played and so forth, but like, let's get a little insight on that as well. I think for me, I don't view it as a hurdle anymore because I realize, like, dang, I was on these teams with these players with this knowledge. It's like, where the hurdle at? Yeah. Like I mean, you know what I'm saying? I was privileged.
The silver lining.
You know, so for me, you know, I don't view it as a hurdle, but in the moment, um, the things I viewed, one of the biggest hurdles, to be honest, was people outside of, like, people in my family or people in my space or people that supported me not understanding the business. You don't know, and I don't know either. We all got to experience it. We got to figure it out together. So, you know, it's hard. And I talk to players about it now. I have a lot of players now that come to me and we talk about stuff like this. But like, imagine you ain't playing. Your parents like, why you ain't playing?
Yeah.
Like, if I knew, you know what I mean? If
I'll
I
be out here
knew, I would be playing. So, you know, that was tough for me, to be honest. Like, dealing with other people expectations again and not knowing, like, hey, I don't really, like, I didn't know how to say no.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to say no to hey, we need a financial favor. I didn't understand how to say no at that point in time. I also didn't understand how to, hey, it's a business and, you know, right now my number is not being called. Overall, I got to get better, but also I got to be in the right situation, the right timing. And, you know, so for me, you know, a big hurdle was just dealing with people, dealing with like, more expectations, dealing with caring too much about what people thought about, like, D got cut and waived again, or D on another team.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on another team.
Yeah, like I'm here.
That, you know what that means? Like, I got cut, waived, and another team got me.
It's crazy thinking about how people like you, me, and other people in our surroundings that actually are striving for something.
Yeah.
And how we allow the 90% to affect us. Because they can never understand. It's not a knock to them. It's just, but at that moment, it's hard because we love so much. You know what I'm saying? And we would like to, like, you know, like you said, you know, like, yeah, I would love to do that for you. I love to do that for you. I want to live up to your expectation plus.
Yeah.
So it's definitely good to see how you navigate that and hear how you, like, and even know, like, now of knowing you and talking with you, to see how you've been able to, like, handle that with grace, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thankful that I went through that, because now when I talk to Devin, when I talk to Jaden, like Jaden, you know, Jaden had his own experience this season where he wasn't playing the minutes he was hoping to be playing early on. And I was able to give him advice through that. Like, bro, don't even trip. Do the right stuff every day. Keep stacking your good days. By the end of the season, watch, just see where you're at. Same thing with Devin. One of the advices I gave to Devin the other day, you know, Devin is on the cusp of, you know, NBA G League.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of the best shooters in the G League. And, you know, me and Dev talk about call-ups, you know. He has that pressure as well. Like, he wants to be an NBA player in his mind. Like, that's where he needs to be. That's where he deserves to be. And so for him, we talked this season, and I said, take it 3 games at a time.
Yeah.
Then reevaluate. Don't reevaluate. Don't micromanage every single game.
Yeah.
Because water always finds level. Just stay balanced, right? Like, let's look at your career stats in your G League time. You are a 41% on your career 3-point shooter.
Yeah. That's nice.
So you can, like, 41% on the career. So what that mean? Don't even trip.
Yeah.
Just keep doing the stuff that got you there. And obviously everything else is a surplus. And the more things you add to your routines and get better, those things are surplus. But if you just keep doing what got you there, you're going to be even if you shoot 0 for 5 one game, when it all plays out, water's going to find level. You're going to be 41%.
That's crazy.
That means you got to be doing something less to be any worse.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
No, 100%.
So for me, you know, my journey, my experience allows me to help some of my young players, or my brothers. You know what I'm saying? It allows me to help them. It allows me to be a better coach. And yeah, I mean, the amount of, I don't want to say trials, but the amount of things you learn at that level, like up and back and forth with the G League, you know, like they got you practicing. Like, I've been on teams where I practice with the Rockets playing a G League game. I've been in situations that people don't see where I'm guarding CP3, James Hart. It's like before we even guard them, they got me lifting, shooting. I do a 2-hour workout before practice, hard, because then you're not playing, so you got to work out hard. Then I'm guarding James Harden and CP3 all practice hard. Then you get your shots up after practice. You get a shower. You go straight to the airport. You go straight from the airport where you land to the game. You get to the game. It's 10 minutes. 10 minutes on the clock before the game starts. And then you go in the game and you like tired. You score like 12 points. Like, man, why are you even getting 30, 40? And it's like, bro, if you seen what I did today, you will understand. But I started in that moment, I started to realize how capable I was.
Yeah.
Like, I'm no longer going to make excuses. I'm not going to do what I need to do to be prepared, clean up my diet, get better sleep, be a little bit more focused, ask for help. So that way I can get 20, 30 points, even though I got every reason to probably like not even do it.
To be like, pat myself on the back, like, hey, I did a lot. And then allow yourself to slack.
So the biggest thing is like, too, is like, just don't, for me, like, whatever your goals are, for me, I wanted to be a stable point guard. I wanted to be a backup point guard and a starting point guard. So for me, I said, if I want to be these things, and these are the things that are out of my control, but here's the things that are in my control, I have to make sure that my actions align with my belief system.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I want to be a starting point guard, but I can't control that I'm back and forth in the G League. I can't control that they tell me last minute, hey, by the way, go get changed, go get a shower. You got the car. It's going to take you to the airport. You can't control that. I can't control when they tell me, but all I can do is be ready for that any point of time. So for me, that's one thing I teach my players. That's one thing I practice to this day is like being mentally, physically prepared for anything.
Yeah.
Being physically, mentally prepared for these situations. And, when I take a big step back, that's no different than what I experienced in my youth. It's like, hey, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. So yeah, that was a big thing. Like that was a big challenge, being back and forth, having no control, because, and then also too, feeling like you deserve to be certain places, but you're not.
Yeah.
And the one thing I can say though, on every team that I've been on, I've dominated in my practice.
Yeah.
Like my training, I've dominated the training. The training against players, I've dominated the players on every level. Like I've beaten guys in one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? I've challenged these guys in one-on-one and got beaten too. But I've beaten players in one-on-one. I've been in training camp and been the best player in the training camp. Everybody in the training camp been the best player. So, but not only that, I've been privileged enough to learn from great coaches, great players, great staff, like even the staff, to the chef, to the, trainers and to the strength and conditioning coaches. Like my experience is a full one. So, for me, sometimes I'll be thinking about coming out of retirement. I'll be like, shit, I might as well go hoop. But I'm thankful to be where my feet are now and
But if your ticket or your phone call, get to that boy.
Yep.
But no, I appreciate, man, like all that you shared tonight, man. Like we definitely got to link back.
Yeah, for sure.
This part 2 in this boy, but no, I definitely, want to give you thanks for, showing up, showing out, giving out this good advice.
Yep.
And we're going to have some more different topics because I just, what I mean? We could just talk for hours, bro.
Yeah,
so like, let's give people what they need.
Yep. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, family. We out. Peace, love, chicken grease. Until next time. We out.
It's not political. It's direct.